going to make petite orange and cream scones for you today. For beginners, you must preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Then, you're going to start with 2 cups of flour, and then you're going to put 3 teaspoons of sugar, and then you are going to put 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and mix those all together. And then you're going to put 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Then make sure you mix well, because then it will be evenly distributed. Once you've completed this, this is the key to scones. In order to keep them moist and flaky, you must have 6 tablespoons of butter, and as you put them into the flour mixture, you must divide them into little cube things into the flour mixture. Once you do that, make sure your hands are well washed before doing scones, because your hands are used very much. Once we get this into the flour mixture, that is when we're going to have to use our hands very much so, because you're going to knead the dough together with your hands and smush the butter in your hands so that you create coarse crumbs. And you're going to continue doing this until it is thoroughly put into the flour. This will probably take about 3 minutes if you do it well. Then once you get this done, the next step is to put in 1/2 cup of half and half. And this is the other key to keeping scones moist. Half and half helps to have a little moisture. You're going to want to wash your hands usually after this. Once you put in the half and half, that's when you need to have a spoon to be able to mix it up. And then after that, you're going to put in 1 egg. And for the egg, you need to mix it up with a fork before you stir it into the flour mixture. See, this is what it's going to look like. So here's your egg. Scones are one of my favorite things. The best thing to have with a scone is a nice cup of tea. So make sure that whenever the scones get out of the oven, that you have a nice cup of tea at hand. Okay, once that's done, the key to having a petite orange scone is to have orange zest. This is what gives it its nice zesty flavor. So you're going to put in a very small amount because zest goes a long way. You're going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of orange zest. It will be a very small amount, just enough to put into the teaspoon. Then once you have that all mixed in, that's when you're going to add your white chocolate chips. And this gives it a nice flavor. You're going to put enough, just enough to have enough for the whole entire dough, which will be around 1/2 cup or so. And then once this is completed, you're going to want to usually put it into your refrigerator for about an hour or so that it chills up, so that when you cut it, you'll be able to cut it evenly and it won't be sticking to your hands. Okay, so once it's like this is when you're going to put it onto a hard surface and divide it into, you're going to make it into a nice round, and then once you have it in a round, that's when you're going to divide it into about 8 slices that are going to be about this small. And then that's when you'll put it onto your baking rack and put it into your oven that's preheated at 400 degrees, and then you'll have your petite scones.